Okay, this video is the second half on creating a Works Consulted page. At this point, I have 4 sources that I've pasted into my Google Doc. So now I just have to format it all correctly. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the insert. And I'm going to come down to headers and footers. That's right here. Okay, headers and footers. And I'm going to choose header. And what will happen is it opens up the header. You can see header here, right? And so what I want to do is I want to come up here to my alignment choices. And this is left align, center, right align. I want right align, which will move my cursor over to the right hand side. And now I'm going to type my last name. And then I'm going to hit the space bar. Okay, notice the cursor moved. I hit the space bar. And then under options, I'm going to pick page number. Apply. Okay, almost done. However, I do need to highlight the whole thing and change it to Times New Roman and 12-point font. Okay, and then I can click anywhere I want down here in the rest of the document and the header closes. Okay, and so now I have my header. The next thing you want is a heading, okay, which is different. That's your name, full name. So we're going to type your full name. Okay, then your teacher's name, which is me. Then your class, which is ELA, and your period. And then whatever number that is, right? Is that 1, period 1, period 3, period 4, right? So you're going to put the period number. And then you want to type the due date for the assignment, okay? And then you're going to hit enter. And you are going to go over and to the alignment again. And you're going to hit the alignment and you're going to hit center. And it takes my cursor to the center. And you're going to type Works Consulted page. Okay. Now, from here, you can see I can have this empty blank line here. We don't want that empty blank line. So I'm going to move my source. Oops, that was the wrong key. Up by hitting the backspace. So I just hit the backspace and I moved it up. So it's directly underneath Works Consulted. And now I'm going to put all of my sources right together. No space between them. Okay, so now they're all together. Now, we're going to go ahead and hit Control A. Super important that you don't do this. And I used my mouse and I'm highlighting with the cursor, okay? That is really bad. And I just messed something up. I moved the YO, okay? Bad things happen when you try and highlight things, okay? You want to hit the Control and then A for all. Control A. And you can see it's gone all the way down here where I didn't think I had anything that I thought was blank, okay? Control A gets your entire document. That is the only way to change formatting. Always use Control A. So now I can do Times New Roman, 12-point. Notice I have not clicked into my document yet. It's still all highlighted. And I'm going to go over here to spacing. And the first thing I'm going to do is come down to custom spacing. This is super important when you're copying and pasting from other websites. So you want to go to custom spacing and you want to make sure that your before and after are 0. If it says 12, like this, you have to highlight and change it to 0 and then hit apply. Okay? And then it will get rid of any weird spacing that's in your document. Now from here, I can go ahead and go into spacing now and hit double, and it will double space it all correctly for me. Okay, and I don't have any extra lines or any extra weird stuff going on. Okay. Now, if we left it like this, it would be hard to tell where one source started and the next one source ended and the next one started. But we're not going to leave it like this. Okay, so I have color coded each of my different sources here just so you can see them easily. I don't want you to do this. You do not need to color them all different colors. It's just for the purposes of this video so you can see what I'm doing with each source. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor at the top of the first line. Okay, the end of the first line. So this is my first line, right? Ends in 4 April 2022. And I'm going to hit enter. And it takes me down to my next slide. So now I'm down here in front of my HTTPS. And then I'm going to hit the tab key. Okay? And it pushed it over, which is what I want. Okay? And I'm going to hit delete because the H isn't right on my cursor. And then I need to do it again. So I need to go to the end of the previous line here, which is June, and hit enter. And notice that it tabbed it over for me, right? I didn't have to do that again. Once you start the formatting process, Google's pretty good about picking it up and realizing what you're doing, okay? So now I have this kind of indent here for the next two. And what will happen is as I do this with every source, so now I'm on my second source here, I'm going to the end of 01. And I'm going to hit enter and tab, okay? And then I'm going to go to the comma after the 9 and hit enter and tab. And I'm going to hit delete again on that one. And then again for the comma after the 20 here on my last source and tab. All right. And now you can see I can easily identify where one source begins and ends and the next source begins and ends. And that's the point. It's kind of a reverse paragraph format, right? Normally we would indent the first line and everything else would be on the margin. This is more like a file folder, so you could like kind of flip through and find the information quickly, right? You can see that first piece of information super easy. Now, it does need to be in alphabetical order. So if I look, C comes before M, but H comes before M, and L comes before M. So this M is out of place. So I'm going to highlight this one, and I'm going to cut, edit, cut, and it disappears. And then I'm going to come down here, underneath this document, and I'm going to hit edit, paste. And there it is. And now they're all in alphabetical order, C, H, L, M. Okay? And now it would be ready to print. I just have to, again, hit Control A and turn everything black. There we go. And it is ready to print, right? So if I go print, this is what it should look like, okay? And that's all there is to it, okay? You print it and put it in your folder.